guys, this is Bill with Lowery Fencing. We're out here in North Texas, and I'm very excited to introduce you to one of our valued customers. This is Andy Vall. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. So you had a lot of deliberation, planning, and consideration, and went for two custom wrought iron slide gates. You got automation with LiftMaster in there, a couple of keypads and solar panels. Probably one of my favorite fences that we've done yet. You got the timeless look of wrought iron with the pre-stained cedar. Looks fabulous. And then we did all this concrete work for you, and sidewalk leading up to this lovely home. We just got some questions for you. Can you tell us a little bit about the journey that led you to Lowery Fencing? And with so many other contractors available, why did you choose us?
Well, we moved here from Rockwall, and before we even moved here, we knew we were going to have to get some fencing done because this house was top list of the houses we wanted to buy, and didn't have any fencing, had no security of any sort, and we knew the highway was right close by. So the first thing I did was I actually Googled fencing in North Texas, and you were in the top 5. Lowery Fencers in the top 5 of all the fencing contractors in North Texas. So that started the ball rolling. When we started to look at the house, look at the lot, look at the area, look at the neighborhood, we actually saw Lowery Fencing on the fence across the street from the house we wanted to buy. So that was kind of like, divine intervention, if you will, as to what made us choose Lowery Fencing. And then when both of us called you guys, we were both impressed with the professionalism you guys had. You were very articulate on the phone. You're very explaining about what we needed and what we needed to do to get this ball rolling. Gave us some ideas about quotes. He gave us some ideas about what type of fencing to use. Because the highway is right next door, we wanted to get something to knock out some of the noise. So just the way we talked and how you articulated with us, and just the divine intervention between the neighbor and what we actually discovered with our Google search, we were like, okay, let's do it.
That's awesome. Can you tell me, and I think you already started to, with the noise and just not having a perimeter fence, what other challenges or difficulties were you facing before you decided to proceed with the project? And then on the side note, now that you had the perimeter fence and all this outdoor living services, how has it added value to your daily day?
I think probably one of the main motivating factors, which was also a quandary we had, was we have a new grandson and we have a dog, and we have a lot of grand dogs. So getting the type of fence we wanted was very important, not only to keep things out of our yard, but to keep the things that are important to us in the yard. Our grandson loves to roam around the yard, and my wife and I are getting a little older, a little long in the tooth, short in step, and ultimately it's hard to chase down the grandson, and we certainly can't chase down our dog. So we wanted to have something that was very secure, that we could feel good about our grandson just being unleashed in the yard with our dogs, our grand dogs, and all the sort. And being so close to Highway 69, that is imperative. We can't have him run around climbing trees and being close to the highway and not having anything that's going to keep him safe. At the same time, the thing we didn't want was, because we're new to this neighborhood, we didn't want to isolate ourselves from our neighbors, passers-by, our guests, by putting in this, huge fence, and not have the ability to see within the fence. And so we said, well, maybe we just do like a semi-permeable fence, one that has wood and wrought iron, and that way at least it's open, it's forgiving, it's welcoming. And so far, the information, the feedback we've gotten from folks is that it's very welcoming. We have people driving by on a daily basis, videotaping the fence. And at the same time, they can see the house, they can see us, and they don't have to feel isolated from whatever we are as far as what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. Our neighbors can reach across, they can talk to us through the fence, they can come to the gate, we just push the button. It's very welcoming. So we're very happy with it. But on the same side of things, the highway side, we wanted that to be completely oblivious to what's on the other side of that. So you guys did a doubled up fence for us. It's isolated a lot of the sound. You can't completely get rid of all the sound, but it's isolated a lot of the sound. And at least it gives us some separation and also prevents some separation anxiety at the same time from the high end.
That's great. Yeah, I hadn't even considered the fact that, it is a two-way street. You get to see out, they get to see in, and it would be very isolating if you were all boarded out. Can you tell us a little bit more about the experience working with Lowery Fencing? For example, were you pleasantly surprised by anything? Did the preparation work that went into the concrete exceed your expectations?
Well, my wife and I have moved around quite a bit in our lives. Being previous military, getting the med up the field, we bounce around quite a bit. This is supposed to be our final place. And ultimately, we wanted this to be the final experience. We wanted it to be a good experience, which is part of the reason why Lowery Fencing popped up a couple of times. We're like, this has got to be the right guy. It's got to be the right people. And ultimately, the gentlemen who came to work on the fence were very professional. They were very forthcoming about what needed to be done, if there's any changes that need to be done. They were very honest. They were very articulate with us. And ultimately, the professionalism was unsurpassed. And having had multiple homes and building multiple fences in their lives and did a lot of remodeling projects, I'd have to say that Lowery Fencing is probably the best contracting experience we've ever had. And that also includes the people, the ancillary staff that were involved with the whole project. It completely unsurpassed. Great experience. I had no complaints whatsoever.
It's awesome. We worked really hard to provide a pain-free experience from the beginning, from the first phone call to right now to later on. We say, hey, what's going on with this? We're going to be here because we're in here for the long haul. It was a pleasure working with you. Do you have any final advice for the viewers?
Well, I have to say, ultimately, as you said in the very beginning, you have to do your research. This is a small area, North Texas, Denison, Sherman area is a small area. There's contractors that come from all around Austin. They come from as far north as Oklahoma. They come from Dallas. And you want someone that's at least semi-local, so that way if something goes wrong with your project or you have questions about something, you can get face-to-face talk, which is what we have with Lowery Fencing. If we had a question about something, if there's any problem, even the smallest problem, we could talk to you guys face-to-face. You show up at the property when we ask you to, and it makes the experience so much better and so much more friendly and so much more amicable. And that you can't get that type of customer service with any lot.
I agree. Well, once again, it's been a pleasure working with you. Hopefully we get to team up on our next project. And I know this is your forever home, but there's always another forever home. You never know.
That's right. That's right. Thanks a lot, Don.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.